All right, what's going on, everybody? As you can tell, I'm in a bit of a hustle. It is Saturday, whatever the date is, the 21st of October. And what had happened was, it was supposed to rain. Where's my socks? It was supposed to rain straight through until Sunday. So I figured I'd take the day, sleep in, just kind of relax, maybe do an evening hunt. Well, my wife is going to her mother's house. I don't know where my hunting socks are. I think they're downstairs. Holy crap. Got them. My wife is going to her mother's house to make apple dumplings. And she called me and said that on her way there, she saw a good buck crossing the road heading up towards our property. So, since it takes about 5 minutes down our road to get into cell signal, that deer already has a head start. And if you saw at the end of the last episode, we got some pretty nice bucks on our trail cameras. And that means I need to get my ass up the hill to a stand before them bucks get there. Right now the wind is about perfect for both of our stands. It's blowing straight uphill. At the top of the hill, it's a lot heavier than it is down lower, which works out for me because I think those deer are going to want to stay low where they can still hear. Deer really aren't too big of fans of heavy winds. And right now it's blowing like crazy. But our hill's steep enough that the bottom of the hill doesn't quite, get all the wind that the top does. So with that, I think my intro is going to be done here. I'm going to get you guys on the bow. Let's see if we can get there before these deer get through. Catch you in a bit. Alright, well, we made it up to the stand. The wind is just swirling. It's not terribly strong, but it's going every direction. I didn't see anything spook. So I think that we got in here either before they come through, or maybe we just missed them. There's a few different ways they can skirt me. If they go up along the top of the hill, up towards my other stand, then they go right up around me. I'm hoping the wind up there is going to keep them down the hill a little bit. There's a possibility they just go to my neighbor's property and bed down, because it is ridiculously thick in through there. So there's a good chance they do that. There's also the possibility they went a direction. Once they got to our side of the mountain, they went somewhere that wasn't on my property. It's just starting to sprinkle now. If the rain picks up, I'm gonna have to back out again, but I guess we'll hang out here and see what happens. GoPro right now is resting on my leg, so any movement we see is from the tree. It's been about an hour. Haven't seen anything move through yet. Probably gonna stick it out for a little bit. The wind's been gusting pretty good. The rain's been picking up and dying down. Wind's still swirling in every direction. I think I'm gonna stick it out for a little bit longer. If this wind keeps up, I might as well just go back to the house because they're probably bedded down. Well, as you can hear, rain's picked up and it's been steady now for about 20 minutes. At this point, even if something walked by, I wouldn't feel comfortable shooting it. because all I got with the bow is a blood trail. And if this rain washes that blood trail out, chance I don't recover a deer. It's 11:30. I got in here a little before 10. So I figure if they haven't come past me by now, either they skirted up around the top of the hill, or they're bedded down somewhere in between. They had to cross 3 properties to get here from where they were at on the road. So there's a good chance they might have just bedded down in some thick cover and are hanging out, staying dry. So with that, I'm gonna bail out of here and get after them again on Monday. Catch you then. Alright, welcome back everybody. It is Monday, October 23rd. We have officially made it to the South Public Land, and I think I'm going to set that crossroads I was at opening day. It seems to be that the pre-rut is now in full effect. Last week we saw a pretty good explosion of rubs and scrapes starting to pop up. So either we are well into the marking phase of the pre-rut, or these bucks are about to start spending all day on their feet. Now, it's not great conditions this week. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s to 70s all week, so daylight movement might be a little limited. But we have another cold front coming through this weekend, and that's supposed to end on Monday with a very sharp drop in temperature, about 20 degrees. So, looking forward to next Monday being probably the best day we have to hunt so far this season. Either way, since we are into the pre-rut, I figured the best course of action today would be to hunt a sort of natural travel lane funnel. And the best spot I have for that is the crossroads down here on the South Public Lands. So, I'm gonna head in here, get up in a tree, probably go from there. There's a deer. Yep. Looks like a doe. 2, 3, 4. Here's another one in the back. Alright, well, they are where I expected them to be. Unfortunately, of course, we have a late start today. I was awake for my alarms, but I guess I passed out again. Wound up waking up at a little after 8. So I ran downstairs, got a shower, got my shit together, and finally made it to the woods. It's 9:21 right now. So might have missed the morning cruise, but with any luck, these bucks will be cruising through in the afternoon, or at least these bucks should be cruising through at least in the afternoon, hopefully all day. So I'm gonna have to be a little extra careful on the way in. Try to make as little disturbance as humanly possible. But hey, that's the first time I've seen deer on these game lands, so things are looking up. With any luck, those deer will circle around and head down towards the crossroads. I can't believe I missed them, dude. They probably came right through too. They were on the right side of the road. They were... could have had a shot at a doe today. Ah well. We'll set the afternoon for bucks and see what that pulls. Alright, well I'm gonna head back into the stand, get set up in the saddle, and I'll catch you then. Alrighty folks, well, I'm up in the tree, all set up, ready to rock. I'm gonna try something a little bit different today. I got the GoPro set up right on my tether here. Figured I'd try something a little bit different for this setup. I got my GoPro set up on the tether, and then I still have my head cam for anything out in front of me. Might just give you a little bit better angle of everything. Nothing's moved yet and the wind started swirling. I guess you could say things are going downhill pretty quick. Well, it's 1 o'clock. Nothing moved. So 1 chipmunk and 1 squirrel. Deer ain't here. So I think the mistake I made was passing those deer to try to find deer here. So with that in mind, I think what I'm going to do is side hill along this edge on this side of the stream. There's a drainage that leads up to a private field, ag field, on top of this hill. And there's a bench going down into the bottom where those deer were standing. So I think they're going to be bedding on that bench, using the drainage and ridges to go up to that ag field to feed tonight. But since it's the middle of the day, the deer aren't going to be super active. Even though it is the pre-rut, they're still not going to be as active in the middle of the day. Since that's the case, I think I'm going to take the opportunity now to get out of the tree, slip around this hill, and go see what I can find. Alright, well, it is 20 to 3. So it's about time we get set up in here. Wound up parking in that upper lot, trying to cross the stream. Where I originally wanted this set up, turned out instead of being just a big open bench like I thought, it was actually 3 splits of the stream. So it wound up being that there wasn't a whole lot of sign in there, there wasn't any kind of activity, nothing jumped out of it when I walked by. So I kind of kept the wind to my side when I got up against this hillside and just kind of followed the stream. Stayed as tight to that hillside as I could because the wind was blowing right directly at it, so I didn't spook anything or blow my scent across this way. Directly behind me, it looks like a pretty good bedding area. There's a couple of big old rubs on trees that are probably that big around. And if you look, let me get a range on it quick. If you look 12 yards to my left, right down there's a fairly fresh scrape. You see there, you probably see there's a couple of leaves on it, but that was open in the last day or two. So there's a chance. This may actually be the bench that those deer were standing on that we spooked on the way in. So there's a chance if they come through tonight in daylight, we might be able to catch them on the way back if they do come back this way. I don't think I disturbed anything behind me too bad. I mean, nothing jumped. And I didn't blow anything out, so I don't think there was anything in there. Either that or it just laid there and watched me. But there's fresh tracks, there's rubs, there's scrapes. Everything you're looking for when you're hunting deer. And I can shoot pretty much this entire bottom. So if anything moves through this way, I'll at least be able to see it. Might even get it on camera. So I'm going to quiet down here, see what wanders by. Alright folks, well,
6 minutes of shooting light left, but I gotta find a way to get across this creek. So I need all the light I can get. Well, it got warm today. Should have been in here in the morning, but I suck at being a person, I guess. I don't know. I think all this week I'm going to be doing all day sits wherever I wind up. I'm going to save my property for the best days, just because of the bucks we got running around up there. I don't want to wind up spooking them off. I only have 14 acres of land, so really easy to push all that off and never see those bucks again. So I'm kind of saving my ground for the perfect days. When I go to public ground, it's going to have to be either a tank of a buck or a doe that I'm after. All that's to say, this week's going to be hot, and I'm probably going to be doing some all-day sits because of the pre-rut having the bucks cruising. But yeah, I guess we'll find out what's going on. Pennsylvania likes to do this thing where it sends the worst possible weather at you at the worst possible time, which you just love to see. So anyway, I'm gonna drop out of the tree here. I think my escape route's gonna be that log going across there. I think that's probably the best chance I have of getting across with dry feet. So yeah, I'm getting out of the tree. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, folks, what is going on? It is 6:30 in the morning, and it's going to be a hunt of mixed emotions and feelings today. Not entirely sure what to make of it. So, the situation is as follows. The forecast for today is going to be upwards of 70 degrees with little to no wind, but the wind that is forecasted is not ideal for the stand I want to go sit in today up on top of the hill. The other part of that is that last evening we got a Facebook notification that one of the bucks we've had on trail camera is no longer with us. My neighbor across the hill wound up tagging him last night, so congratulations to her. So there is now hunting pressure across the hill on what's usually their safe haven. The other thing going into this is that while it's supposed to get up to 70 degrees today, it is currently 30. And allegedly, I haven't been outside to confirm this, but allegedly, we had our first frost last night. The thing about the frost is that it knocks a lot of feed out of trees. And the stand at the top of the hill has a whole lot of beech nuts. So there's a good chance that frost knocked down some of those beech nuts, and we now have a ton of feed up on my top stand. The other thing about that stand, we installed water holes earlier, over the summer, and we've seen bucks drinking at those water holes on camera. We also have a waxing gibbous moon, so there's a good chance they could just been running all night. But if they're going to come by, it's going to be in the morning. And as the day heats up, they might even stop by for a drink of water on their way to their bed. I really don't know how to feel about it. The cameras tell me that so far this season, if they're going to run, it's going to be by noon. So I don't know whether to stick it out all day or just bail at noon if I don't see anything. It was also warm last evening, and that's when my neighbor tagged that buck, so who knows what these things are going to do. Either way, it is still really dark, but I think I might take a dim light and scoot up to the stand before daylight breaks. Typically I like to wait until gray light, but I think with today's hunt and the way it's laid out, it'd be better for me to get up there while it's still dark. That way if anything does come by at first light, I can be in the stand. I'm also going to have to bundle up a little bit because, like I said, it's 30 degrees currently, even though it is getting up to 70. So it might not be the most comfortable as the day goes on. Probably going to get toasty and have to shed some layers, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So I guess I'll catch you when I get up there.
Alright, well, it's about 1:15, and there's just nothing going on except the unsanctioned chipmunk fight club going on over here. So I think I'm gonna run back to the house quick, check the trail cameras on the way down, and see if there's any reason to believe they might be moving through in the evening. Did have that one doe come in about 60 yards earlier today from directly downwind, which is interesting. But hey, we're seeing deer again. At least I know my thought process is right, even if the deer don't show up most times. I'm gonna bail out of this tree, check my trail cameras, and go get something to eat. Catch you when I get out again. Alright, well, we have made it to the stand. We're in the same tree we were in 2 days ago, but this time we got the stream to our back. Travel route to the right, bedding to the left, and there's also a couple new features. You can see here is the old scrape that we were hunting over 2 days ago. And this guy right here, that's a fresh scrape. Now they may well have made those overnight, but with any luck, there's a chance they could come through here during daylight and check them. Well, folks, I don't know what time it is. I don't have a watch or a phone or any way to tell me what time it is, but as the day goes on, it's getting warm. It seems a little less likely that these deer are going to move as the day goes on. Before I turned the camera on, there was zero breeze. This is probably just a gust that'll go away in a second. But it's hot. I assume it's somewhere around the middle of the day because the sun's actually up over the edge of the valley here. But either way, the conditions just kind of suck for deer hunting. But they're great for something else. And that gave me an idea. So I'm gonna get out of the tree. I'll see you at the truck. Well, folks, to quote the great Jeremy Clarkson, behold my genius. I'm trading in the saddle for a spinning rod. We got the bow strapped onto my backpack, arrows on the other side. And yeah, I think we're just gonna walk the stream here. Let's give this a little test run here, see if it'll work. Oh yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I got my quiver on this side. My quiver on this side on quick release, so I can just grab an arrow as I need. Got my bow on this side. Got the strap going right across the handle, so it fits perfectly. Nothing's getting bumped by the strap. And yeah, we got the chest rig on the GoPro. So what I'm gonna do here, fish my way down the stream. And if I see a deer, we got the bow. And if I don't, then we're still fishing. So I've got the spinning rod rigged up with a tiny little beadhead nymph going to a slip bobber. So as we go along here, I'll be able to adjust the depth and play with it. This stream is actually full of wild brookies. There's no stalking done here.
So if I do wind up catching fish, it'll be completely wild. And if I run across a deer, it'll also be completely wild. So I'm gonna scout my way along the stream here, see if I can find any areas with some nice deep pools that these trout might be hanging out in. And yeah, I'll kick you on when I get to fishing, or if I see a deer. Catch you in a bit. This is what happens when deer don't want to run. Makes me chase other things. But see, it's well known that deer are very uppity and spiteful creatures. So in order to piss them off into showing themselves, I'm going to act like I'm not even here for them. All I'm interested in is these wild trout. Oh, man. I was walking through the brush back there. Freaking caterpillar dropped onto the back of my neck. I didn't know what it was, so I slapped at it. Now all the little prickles from that caterpillar are just in my neck. Like 1,000 little fiberglass shards. Oh, I can already feel the rash. Oh. We might be cutting this one short. This freaking sucks. Oh. Just seen 3 trout spook. So close. There go 2 more. Two more. That was a bite? And there's some big trout in there. There's one. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got it done. I can't believe it. Okay. Get a little bit of line out here. Get my hands wet. Look at this. Oh, that's a wild brown right there. Wow. Okay. Well, if you can't shoot a deer, catch a fish. See you, bud. That's how we do it in PA. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today's outing. Still have tomorrow to make get some kind of footage before I put this into a video, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that yet. It's supposed to be similar conditions as today. So just flat out terrible for deer hunting. I might have to do a squirrel hunt. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Who knows? I'll catch you tomorrow with what actually happens. Alright folks, what's going on? It's Thursday morning, and I'm back on my ground. The reason I'm back on my ground is because last night, when my wife was getting home from visiting her mother, she sent me this video. It's a little difficult to make out, but it's a young buck absolutely dogging a doe. Now I don't know if that doe is hot, or if he's just trying to push her somewhere secure so he can lock her down, or at least try to. But either way, we're seeing some rutting activity. It is the last week of October, so I guess there is a possibility that she was hot. But he was actually down in my yard, right by that bush over there. And when she pulled in the driveway and took the video, he pushed her up onto the hill here. So in order to figure out where I want to set up, I'm going to check this trail camera. See which direction he went. Bear with me on camera placement. Yesterday I broke the attachment off my bow. I connected to my stabilizer. So I got you on a magnetic clamp right now. It's kind of stuck to the arm of the ladder stand. Hearing a lot of noises, so I need to get my bow up here. They are chipmunks. Just got visual confirmation. Today I figured we'd bust out the old secret weapon. Since there's a potentially hot doe in the area. This might get some bucks from the neighbor's property. That ain't good. Nope, tried. Alright, I'm gonna get settled in. Catch you if anything rolls through. Spike.
decided I'd try to practice standing up on him like I was gonna take a shot, just to make sure I could do it. He had no idea I was here. Might have been a different story if he was closer, but I don't know. That spike, back before the rut started, was running in a bachelor group with some pretty nice bucks. Since we just got into the rut, there's a good chance those other bucks might be close. So I'm gonna stay settled in here. Stay alert. We got deer moving, baby. Well, folks, it's getting hot. Temperature-wise, not activity. It's been about 3 hours since that spike come through. Wind started swirling, and it's getting hot just sitting here. Still don't have any evidence on the trail cameras of any deer moving through during the day. So motivation's pretty low to sit here and burn up the spot. I think I'm gonna run back to the house, grab some lunch. I've been debating for a while going back up to North Game Lands, scoping out that big bedding area I found last week. If there's any chance of seeing him, it'll be at absolute last light, because we still got the moon to deal with. Chances are he's not coming out till well after dark. But you never know. But hey, we're seeing deer. And that was the first buck I've actually gotten to see personally moving through the woods so far this season. Just a little spike, but it's good to see him. So with all that being said, I think maybe tonight be able to get out. Maybe not. Just in case this is the end of the video, make sure you click the thumbs up button. It really helps spread my videos out. Gets more people to see them. I appreciate everyone who's been watching so far. Subscribe here if you're new. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Next week's episode will probably be the peak of the rut, so who knows? Might have some good action. See you next week.